This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.
Welcome all once again. May the 4th be with you. So again, this has been running, and I wanted to just kind of give a final pleasant send-off to Star Wars. You're going to have a hysterical Star Wars versus Star Trek special later this month, but I was like, we did so many great chats. We got to repackage them. We got to bring you some of the great ones as well as the standalone ones. So I thought, hey, let's just have an intro to the Star Wars humor. And so we were just talking about other roles that the actors were in, but ultimately it was also just funny, just little tropes, like what happened to that one guy who got knocked out by that one character, what happened to this part of the Death Star, what happened to this planet, or this other little issue that's with George Lucas and company's writing and creation that didn't make it on screen but is known in the canon and the folklore with the fan base. So we had a blast. We just couldn't help ourselves. We had to show not only our fandom, but why Star Wars has only made us just get better as comedic actors, let alone podcasters. We just love just joking about little tropes, little cliches, but it's all in love. So you love Star Wars, you came to the right place. We're going to make everybody happy with just nonstop humor. So enjoy an hour of this discussion, my dudes. Well, I take that last part. It might not be an hour.
Alrighty. Here we are once again. Another all-star cast assembling the best roles of the Star Wars.
Who's better, Han or Indy? Han or Indy? If you had to pick.
Oh man!
Wow,
that's a toughie.
You just opened the black hole of the internet.
That's it. It's done.
I'm not afraid to go on record. Indiana
Can I
Jones.
say
10
Detective
times out of
Deckard
10.
from Blade Runner?
I don't know if he would be if he would be. Oh, you think him versus the other two? I don't know about that.
I mean, he can handle replicants. I think he can handle.
Well,
But
what
is
if
he
he
a
was a
replicant?
replicant?
Yeah,
He's definitely the smartest of the
I
bunch.
am the replicant.
I know, like, which version of Blade Runner are we watching?
Oh, that's a
There's
good
about
point.
30. There's about
I mean, he
37
looks more
versions,
interested
so.
there than in the Star Wars sequels, so I don't know.
Just
Uh,
180. Let's talk
Can,
about
can I
Blade
put
Runner.
Jack Ryan from those Tom Clancy movies as well? I don't know.
Oh hell yeah! Clear and
Oh,
present danger in
Oh.
Patriot games.
He's got some serious wrestling moves in those.
And then, if we're doing all of those, we have to include the old guy from 42 as well. If we're just like putting Harrison Ford against each other.
Not fair. Then we got to
He
include
doesn't- he
Hollywood
doesn't
Homicide. And who would
He
want to
doesn't
unleash
stand
that
much of a
cancer?
chance, but would you not pay to see that?
No.
I'd rather put his character from Anchorman in
I
there.
don't know.
Only if I'm allowed to put in his Expendables character. But
Oh yes.
What was his name? Church in that, or was that Bruce Willis?
no, he replaced Bruce Willis. And
He
he's like,
replaces Bruce Willis.
we decided, Mr. Church, we've had enough of him.
Yeah, he's
on
out of the
everyone's hit list.
picture.
He's out.
Yeah, Bruce Willis did 11 of those garbage movies in 2 years from that company that just where he gets his lines fed to him and he just says his lines and walks off. He was okay to do those, but he just couldn't come back for Expendables, right? Like
He wanted
Well,
too much
he asked
money.
for too much money, but the irony was Stallone also works for that same company.
does Stallone in that?
That's what he did
Yeah.
those escape plan movies for.
Oh, nice.
Here on the show we got J-Man. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
Very good, very good. We got Luke Geisler and Trevor Savert from Barely Critical.
Hello.
Barely.
We're here to be barely critical.
Just barely.
Yes.
If you
That
need,
sounded like you were doing a Harrison Ford impression right there. Oh, yeah, critical.
if you want a hot take, we will give you approximately 23% of one, just barely.
Very warmed over take.
Yes.
A negative +1. Now, Dylan Shea Schlender, how are you?
Dylan from Reels of Justice, happy to be here.
Reels of Justice.
So we take the ultra critical line because movies can only be good or bad on our show.
The yang.
Yeah.
The yang
You
to
have
our
the
yang.
honor
Yes, that's
of
right.
working with the Mads themselves, Trace Beaulieu and Frank Conniff.
That's right. Frankie C and Trace, the good guys, good friends. You know, they come on the
The
show every
ultimate
once in a
Michael
while.
Bay haters.
Oh yeah, but Frank Conniff came on to prosecute The Dark Knight.
That was
And
amazing.
That like he really went for it.
Not Rises, but the middle.
No, not the Dark. Yeah, not Rises. Rises, he probably would have won, but he went for the Dark Knight, and he went for the
"Fuck
throat.
this
It was
movie."
fun.
Yeah. So we got another guest on here, John Reid from 30 something.
Hey guys, how's it going? Everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
You sound great. A voice for radio.
Yes. Yeah, and a face for one too.
Face the match.
Careful now, guys. Come on. We got plenty of voice actors to prosecute in this session here.
Oh god, that's true, isn't it?
The chopping block.
Well, apologies for running a few minutes late.
You
we
are
got a
quite
snowstorm
all
up
right.
here, and
It's a podcast. No one would have known.
no, they wouldn't. We had my son and I. We had our own adventure in the car on the way over. I picked him up from his high school, and I was driving him back. And there's a pickup truck in front of us, and they must have hit a pothole or something. And that one of the rear tires just flew off and went up into the trees.
No.
Oh,
See,
God.
that's a pod racer.
It looked like it.
That's a free tire.
I thought of pulling over if I didn't think I'd get stuck in the ditch too. I thought of pulling over and just rolling down the window and being like, "Hey, if you try spinning, that's a good trick."
Right. I can loan you my land speeder, see if his dad gets in and be like, "Really? I'm changing the tire here. Get out of here." That's great. That's fucking great. Let's boogie. Let's party. So
Boogie.
I'm going to just highlight a few actors and everyone can just chime on in. And any that my stupid ass forgot to name, you can feel free to insert as well. And so let's start off with Mark Hamill. But I mean, if anyone's seen Corvette Summer, Big Red One, or even his junky sci-fi films like Slipstream or Time Runner, check him out. He's also the cop who dies at the beginning of Sleepwalkers. He's a psycho in the Michael Dudikoff movie Midnight Ride. So he had it figured out.
Yeah, but Mark Hamill would go on to have a pretty successful voice acting career, most famously
A little bit.
as the Joker in Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah,
I mean, his voice is the definitive Joker for a whole generation.
He's even
That-
briefly
he-
on Sequest and one of the Wing Commander games. So I mean, yeah.
Mhm.
he's-
Oh, see, when you said
Chucky?
voice acting,
He's
I thought you were going to
Chucky?
go straight for the biker mice from Mars.
Oh, there's a
I was
reference.
thinking more of his Simpsons cameo as well, which I thought.
I was definitely one of the first cartoon versions I saw him in post Joker, but he's briefly on Criminal Minds. He's got starred even
Yeah.
on Chuck and a bunch of other ones. But when I got to Kingsman, I was like, oh my god, he's in this. He's the professor.
I saw that too, and he's just like a professor role. I don't even remember seeing him in Kingsman, but
Yeah, he's like
all
in the
credit.
first scene. He's the guy.
Hey, he's
with-
the guy who the bomb is planted in. But yeah, it's a very non Mark Hamill role. He only has like little subtleties, like when he's first entering, he's like, "Hello."
Yeah, barely has any lines, but they got Mark Hamill to do that.
I'm sure he had fun.
if we had an actor we needed to blow up, who would it be? Mark
who would it be?
He'll
guy.
work for a sandwich, so let's get him on board. You know,
So many car crashes, and I got put up with this shit, man. This is not cool.
Hey, you guys
he was
ever
the
heard
priest,
the?
right? Was he the priest in Village of the Damned? Or
Yeah, he
was he
like
the pre?
he does like a mind meld and then gets blown up, and obviously he
Yeah.
does spoofing role Cockknocker and Jay and Silent Bob. So,
yes, Cockknocker. Yeah, Cockknocker. Yes, that's right.
so I mean, what won't he be in? You know.
Yeah, we
It's
could've
kind
gotten
of
him on the
interesting that
show.
he never really became like a big movie star, though. You know, like he never had anything that even came close to being Luke Skywalker again. I guess
think
that would
he's
be
okay
a common
with that.
theme tonight. Yeah.
He was Luke Skywalker with blue milk dripping down his face. You know, there's always that image.
Stop.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
We're talking about non-Star Wars movies. This is true. We don't need to talk about Last Jedi.
Oh man, I wouldn't want to talk about any of them. Man, that new trilogy was bad.
That was painful.
Oh, heated discussion, man. No, I'm just kidding. I know.
Yeah. But to be fair, I hate all three equally. I'm not picking or choosing. They're all trash, you know.
Well, yeah.
Especially, you know, in Star Wars, you had that perfect sequel trilogy in the Timothy Zahn books with Admiral Thrawn. It was right there. You had the blueprint, and Disney threw it all away. And this is what we get.
And Disney disowns the expanded universe, and you're like, why? Everything is there. It's golden.
Hey, there's still hope for Shadows of the Empire that could still be canon if they say the word. You know, they haven't messed it up so bad that we can't still have Shadows of the Empire. It's all good.
I think the fans have spoken enough to where Kathleen Kennedy's like, I'm going to silently walk away and give it to someone else.
Hopefully.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, you want it? You can have it. You just
I'm not sure about
that. Just on a positive note, I think, has anyone watched the show Nightfall on Netflix?
Yes. Yeah, he's great in that.
Yeah, I just thought, man, you know, Hamill, he just looks like Gandalf there with his giant ass sword and beard. I'm like, but he's basically Obi-Wan, but he's playing a fictional knight during the 14th century. And I'm just like, this is a fun show that just doesn't get talked about enough. But I was just so happy when he was on a random talk show not too long ago and they showed a clip from that. I was like, awesome. For once, he's not talking for the millionth time about Star Wars. He's been promoting new stuff.
You catch the Skeletor in the Masters of the Universe, the new one?
Yeah.
I wondered where I heard that voice. I was like, oh, of course it's him. It's Kevin Smith production.
That was one of those that I'm listening to it. I'm like, wait a minute. That's got a little bit of, there's a little Joker in there.
I recognized the Allstate guy and Tony Todd, but I didn't recognize him at first. I was like, oh, okay, of course it's him. It's him. He actually did utilize him.
Oh, that's good. I think everyone likes Mark Hamill too. You don't hear stories about him being a jerk or anything like that, really. You know, he seems like he's a good guy.
His biggest ongoing roles in Star Wars has been Twitter.
Right. That's totally the best way to sum it up. Oh my God. What are our favorite roles of Carrie Fisher?
Oh boy.
Oh man.
I gotta say, my 100% favorite Carrie Fisher role, she had a guest spot on 30 Rock where she was an older comedy writer from kind of like the Watergate era, and Liz Lemon kind of looked up to her, and then it turns out like her whole life was a mess at the end, and she was really funny in that. It was really good.
I think I do remember that vaguely, and my sister was lining up, oh, my icon.
And then Jack Donaghy's character, he says never go with a hippie to a second location. You know?
Yes. Oh, I like Baldwin, man. Yeah.
When he's hot.
Right? Isn't it wild, though, how she just rewrote so much dialogue for female characters, most notably Renee Rousseau in any of her movies? I was like, that's interesting. You know? I've heard the rumor that in that overrated Spielberg movie Hook, that at one point when they pass over the bridge, that's actually George Lucas and Carrie Fisher.
I read the same exact thing because, again, I'm sitting here thinking of like Carrie Fisher in other movies. Where's Carrie Fisher been in other movies? And then I saw Hook, and I was like, I don't remember seeing her at all in Hook. And I looked it up, and that's exactly what I saw. I'm just like, that's okay. And she was just credited as kissing woman on bridge. And I was like, okay, I have no idea what you're talking about, but okay.
She's because we go on our podcast, we go year by year, and so we've hit a bunch of them lately where she's been, you know, roles that maybe I saw her a long time ago, but
Time Guardian,
Time Guardian, Harry Met Sally, The Burbs.
The Burbs was definitely the first one I saw her in. Man with One Red Shoe.
The first time, because as a little kid, when I would watch other movies other than Star Wars, on the occasion that I did watch anything other than Star Wars, one of the first times I ever remember watching a movie and seeing another actor from Star Wars in another movie be like, holy crap, that's Princess Leia, was when she plays Jake's girlfriend in the Blues Brothers.
That and Austin Powers were where I realized, man, she's really fucking funny. You know, just does all these cameos sometimes as herself, and you're just like, yeah, I totally buy it. And yeah, her colorful life is just in and of itself pretty funny. And I mean, she did pretty good on that one sitcom Catastrophe before it got canceled, but I just loved how it was kind of a mirroring of her crazy life.
She seems to be just like in random, like I'm looking her up because I remember seeing her in lots of movies, like here and there, like, oh yeah, there's Carrie Fisher, but never like where it's like, oh yeah, you know, she's in this whole movie. Like she was in Amazon Women on the Moon. I've seen that movie 100 times. That's I can't exactly remember.
100 times, damn.
Maybe not 100. I've seen it like let's say 20 times or whatever. So it's like
he runs the wiki.
Yeah.
Wiki.
and it's like, yeah, she's in that. It's like, oh yeah. I mean, she just pops up here, and it's not like Mark Hamill where you know for sure that oh yes, he's in that movie definitely, right? Like Carrie Fisher, you have to be reminded sometimes. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot she was in The Burbs, right? Yes, you know. So
and it took one a while to remember. It was like, oh, Postcards from the Edge. You know, that was inspired by her life.
Oh yeah.
Like, she's in a ton. I'm like just
so much writing and producing, and sometimes just like you say, just a miscellaneous voice, or you hear her voice and then you see her on screen. You're like, oh, of course. Pretty invaluable, and I just like how her daughter is also pretty active on the acting scene.
Carry on the legacy.
Yeah. Let's talk Billy Dee.
Oh, Two-Face, man. That was, oh, man.
What should have been. He should have been in
I would have loved
forever.
to have seen that. Yeah.
Would have been better than any of the direct radio shit he did around that time.
What about Undercover Brother? That was a great movie.
Right. So many cameos. And I loved how he appeared, I think, on 70s Show. They're like, hey, what else has Lando done? I'm like, oh my God, don't even start.
And very famously, the spokesman for Colt 45, and
yeah, baby, that was a Ross romance.
He does not like that part of his legacy. I've read that he won't sign Colt 45 merchandise or anything, and he does not like talking about it.
Oh,
it works every time.
Yeah, it works for him too. It works for him too. It's so wild too how he just would appear in some of the, you know, he does Brian's Song and then does just a bunch of blaxploitation films like The Hit and The Take, and then follows it up with various other just, you know, crime thrillers. He just was often playing the cool detective, and then, you know, Star Wars comes along, you know, and he's already done with Diana Ross and all that other stuff. And I think Nighthawks doesn't get talked about enough either.
Yeah.
That's a fun precursor to Lethal Weapon in 48 Hours.
Yeah, another one in that mold he did was called Number One with a Bullet, which is another one of those kind of like buddy detective
films,
movies.
Man.
Yeah, oh, dude.
There's a great line in it where he's talking shit. Oh, totally. And don't you love the scene where he's just talking some shit, and then each time he's like, "Oh, never mind. I'm just talking to myself."
Yeah.
I'm like,
and again, good action. You know, like that's what those movies were about. And he had the look for it. You know what I mean? He looked like a guy who was tough but smooth. You know, it was
so
a tough balance. Yeah.
One thing I also appreciate with Billy Dee is both of the Lego movies that came out recently. In the original, he voices Lando, and then in the Batman Lego movie, he voices Two-Face.
Yeah,
totally great.
Thing-
Wink at both
thing on
iconic
brand.
80s movies. Yeah.
Yeah. The funny thing with the Lego Batman movie is, again, me and my dear friend Luke here, we went to go see it in theaters because what else are we going to do with our days? And we're standing in line and notice we're surrounded by women in their 40s. And we're like, these are a lot of women who are going to see the Lego Batman movie. And one of them turns to us and is like, you know, this is for 50 Shades Darker, right? And Luke gasp, like he just heard something terrible, and goes, sinners.
I mean, to be fair, we should have been like, you know, aware that there's a line for the Lego Batman movie. That should have been our first cue. Something was off.
They could have just hit a demographic.
There's only so many jokes you can remember. I mean, you're gonna have to watch them 10 dozen times just to pin it down.
Those films are cinema sins. It's like it's a sin against cinema. So yeah, you're not too far off.
Peddling smut in our theater.
It wasn't even anything that David. I was like, I saw.
Oh, not just smut. It's got to be Lego smut. That'd be
market.
Oh my God!
When you thought Hinte wasn't enough.
Are you horny but also love just putting bricks together? Do we have to film for you? Hollywood, here we come.
You want to see bricks going into holes?
Oh jeez. Yeah, Billy Dee Williams.
I'm glad we talked about
Billy Dee Williams and Lego
I've seen a
porn.
bunch of his shit. He was really cool as Gibbs' retired friend recently on NCIS, but the last time I saw him was when I was just scrolling randomly through Redbox back when DVDs and Blu-rays were still the rage. And there's this movie there called Bloodlines. It looks like a poor man's version of The Wire, and there he is on the cover with a slum face. I'm like, oh, that can't be good.
You're just
I gotta see this.
No.
It's on Tubi now, so that's definitely the place where it's best to see it, as opposed to pay $5 to wonder.
Oh, yeah.
This
Gotta
looks like
check
a
it out,
Maverick
though.
home entertainment movie.
Well, you know, it's something that I think we're going to find in common with a lot of the actors and actresses we're talking about tonight is how they did a lot of like guest spots on like these on TV shows. You know, like Billy Dee Williams.
TV shows.
Yeah, like Billy Dee Williams had a great guest spot on the show White Collar. He played an
glad someone
ex-con.
remembers that. Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, first of all, White Collar is a pretty decent show. You know, it was that early 2010s aesthetic from USA. You know, kind of at the end of like Monk and Psych and Burn
My
Notice.
sister denies that she had a Matt Bomer crush. I know that's a fucking.
Everyone has a Matt Bomer crush.
Everyone does.
Right? Jeez. The guy's impossibly handsome. None of us stand a chance. You know,
Right?
Sonny?
She stopped watching Chuck when they killed him.
Actually, we
off.
do stand a chance. The guy, he is a homosexual, you know, so we do, so we'll be okay.
Good for him.
Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying we actually do have a shot. Is all I mean.
There we go.
But anyway, my point is with Billy Dee Williams, he plays like an ex-con who's coming back to this like part of town where one of the Matt Bomer's friends lives, and he is kind of like him, only old now, right? So you can kind of see like the track of his life. He'll kind of end up like Billy Dee Williams, or he can go a different way, you know. So it's a neat little episode.
Don't be like me. Do as I say, not as I do.
Well, no, he wants to be like it. Billy Dee Williams is impossibly cool the whole episode. You know? Again, he's super slick and super cool all the time. It's got to be in his contract, you know.
I got to rewatch it. That's great.
I love Lando as a kid, though. Like, I thought he was so cool. He had a cape and he ran Cloud City, and
at a time, he redeems himself. While Han, you know, had he not had that one final argument with Luke, would have totally taken his money and just let Luke probably die at the Death Star.
Yeah.
And
Everything
Billy
happens
Dee,
for
I
a
mean, he
reason.
was doing it for his city, so you could understand that brief traitorish angle, you know.
Well, he's got to run that entire establishment. He can't,
man.
like, he's got to look out for everybody.
He's both a pimp and a politician, man. You gotta earn your business, man.
You know, the novels too, the expanding universe that Disney would ultimately throw out. Like the authors loved playing.
Sorry,
I know the authors loved using Lando. He's prominently featured in the Zahn trilogy. He's prominently featured. I think it's was it K.W. Anderson who does the Jedi trilogy after the Thrawn trilogy?
Yeah,
he's prominently.
Kevin Anderson is amazing, and he wrote some great X-Files novels and plenty of other stuff. But he and Timothy Zahn, I mean, and plenty of other guys just do so good at just, you felt like they knew it better than anybody else.
Yeah, they did. And those two trilogies were such a good 1-2 punch. And Lando figures prominently in both of them because he gets some development in the movies, you know, but like he's not the main focus, so he's a fun character to play with. So you have to imagine that Billy Dee was hoping they would adapt those.
I always wished at Return of the Jedi he could have just stolen away that Falcon.
Oh, that would have been great.
He was supposed to die, though. I think he was supposed to die, and then they had to reshoot it or whatever because people were not happy.
Like, damn you, Lucas.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have been happy with Lando dying.
That's what they said. He's like he's like, oh, he goes, I have a feeling I'm never going to see her again. And they were supposed to blow up, and then they're like, screw that. It's like,
what did I have?
Lando had his own
embarrassingly bad. So cut to bad slow motion Celine Dion's "My Heart Will Go On," please.
and in that first cut of the movie, that yeehaw when he flies out of the Death Star, way different when he doesn't make it.
Oh God! And how about the fact that he almost dies in the Sarlacc pit and he just basically throws another guy to his death by just walking backwards? He's got my leg. Yeah, he's a cool ass dude, and no amount of bad movies can shield him from just his awesomeness. Even before he put the Star Wars hat on, he's just too cool for school.
Well, you know, he's not the reason the movies he's in are bad either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like
he's
always
slick and awesome.
Yeah,
he's exactly. Some people have that immortality, and he's just one of those. Even when he was playing himself and just funny guest spots. Everyone's like, I want to see more of him. He's just too cool a person as an outside of acting to just was like, nah, I got nothing bad to say about you, dude.
And he's like you say, he's cool. He's forever Lando. Anytime I come across, whether it's on Tubi or whether I was staying up way too late at night and came across a movie that he happened to be on, inner monologue always has the Lando voice. And I see he's in a movie, I'm like, hello, what have we here? I don't know if anybody else does that, but the moment I see Billy Dee Williams in a movie, I'm like, hello.
Hello.
You truly belong here among my DVD collection.
Nice.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So I love how the Porkins actor and some of the other Imperials have also often played German officers in the Indiana Jones movies. And I mean, anytime I see them now, I just like, hey, it's that guy. It's the guy from the Lucas camp, you know.
Lucas camp.
Or so I say Spielberg camp. I don't know.
And they work together, you know.
They work
Disney
together.
camp.
But I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Porkins is also in Batman. I think, isn't he the henchman who shoots someone or something?
He is, shoot, what's his character's name? He's the corrupt cop.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. So there you go. There's a bunch of connections to the first Tim Burton Batman.
That was Eckhart, right? No, was that Eckhart?
Yes.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing.
Think about the future.
Think about the future, yeah.
He turns from Billy Dee to Aaron Eckhart. That'd be fucking amazing.
Been drinking Drano, Knox?
Been drinking Drano, yeah.
Oh my God. All right. So let's be honest. Alec Guinness is basically the first folklore we ever saw him in was in Star Wars.
Absolutely.
Even before you get to David Lean's epics, you know, Bridge on the River Kwai and, you know, Lawrence of Arabia, or even, you know, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy miniseries. It's like, the dude is just too cool for school. To think that he had just such a miserable experience making it, and yet.
Yeah. I think he didn't like that people like really only knew him from that. And he's like, I was in Lawrence of Arabia and all this, and it's like, and Star Wars was the big thing. But I think had it gone on long enough, like with him, he would have been okay with it. Like eventually these actors become okay with it, because you have to think there's so many actors that get no work or that are never remembered for anything. It's better to have at least some sort of legacy. And, you know,
and I think the mature ones eventually figure out, hey, you hated working on it, but, you know, it's a good movie. So it's just,
like, would you rather got
he's
paid
good in it, you know?
Like,
Yeah. Plus, he got paid a lot of money for it. So, like, yeah, what can you complain about?
It's not
that
like
is what he said. He's like, I got paid so much money. It's good, you know.
It's good. I'm all
Life
good.
is good. Life is good. Oh man.
You know, one of my favorite movies that he did do, we recently did on Reels of Justice, was the original Lady Killers. If you've ever seen
from
that,
the 50s,
yeah, 1955. Or if you've ever seen the remake, he plays the Tom Hanks character, the professor who's masterminding the whole thing. And I tell you what, he just looks so like evil and shifty, but he's still very polite and gentlemanly. So it's a great juxtaposition, and he just knocks that role out of the park, especially playing against
he owned he owned the deceptiveness factor. It was like, that's totally why he was casted. He has the innocent face of a man who's, you know, anything but that, you know.
Yeah, and he had all the etiquette and everything. Like when he was talking, the old lady the lady who would be killed in the Lady Killers is Mrs. Wilberforce.
The lady who would be killed.
Yeah,
great name.
He just has a great line where they're trying to scare her, saying that she'll be implicated in the crime, and he goes, "We won't let them get you, Mrs. Wilberforce." You know, it's just impeccably delivered.
He has that, and there's this other spy novel that he did. That's an adaptation. I forget. It's like from, like, I don't know, 47 or something like that. But yeah, I mean, like you say, a lot of his roles he just knows how to enter a scene. Just the staging is just impeccable. And even a Passage to India, one of David Lean's final movies, he's also has another brief role in, despite the brown washing in that. But he's just really, I mean, I can't blame him for even wanting to do all these various ambassador roles or fatherly figures, and, like you say, anti-hero or polite villain. It's just because he just had that kind of range to him, and that's why he often landed him.
Yeah, he brought credibility to any role he took. I think that's one of the things that actually helped Star Wars so much is that Obi-Wan is immediately a credible kind of figure, because if you think about all the characters you've met up until you meet Obi-Wan, like Uncle Owen is pretty stilted. Luke is kind of whiny. And then the movie gets, the movie gets serious when you meet. I mean, don't get me started on C-3PO and how annoying he is. But,
oh
dear. And then
I love C-3PO though. There's a guy who does these breakdowns of characters. He did a 3-hour breakdown on a C-3PO character and the importance of that character in the Star Wars trilogy. It's amazing. Ask me,
hours.
He breaks down he basically is the emotional.
I always found Daniels to be a snob in interviews where he acted like he hated working on all of these movies, and yet that's all anyone remembered him for.
I met him, and he was really kind to me. We talked for quite a while, and I was at a...
But not to Kenny Baker.
Not. Oh, yeah.
You dwarf, get out of my way. You never hear about that? I was like, damn, dude, you're such a prick.
But yeah, anyway.
Dude is nearly suffocating to death being in a hot, robotic suit. You're just wanting to trip him. We can't not talk about Warwick Davis, man.
Yeah, maybe we can. Let's go to the next guy.
What about Willow, the leprechaun?
The leprechaun. But I mean, I'm sorry. Willow is just immortal. So how about Dennis Lawson? Doesn't it blow your mind that Ian McGregor's granddad or uncle is Dennis Lawson, is Wedge Antilles in the original Star Wars movies?
Wedge, another character who got a lot of love in the expanded universe, and that was thrown away. I don't even think he's in the new trilogy. Is he even in the new trilogy?
I think for a split second, along with the guy who plays the Mon Calamari guy, Admiral Akbar. It's a trap. But yeah, it's annoying because they're just literally recreating camera angles to where they might as well have just used archived footage instead of just shooting new shit. And it's like,
man,
he is. He's got like a 2-second scene in was it Rise of My Blood Pressure? Yeah.
He's in Rise of Skywalker.
I was in Rise of My Blood Pressure.
Yeah, now he gets the books.
Get out of here. You'll kill opening night. That's great. That's fucking great.
Oh man.
But he's mainly stuck to just doing like international TV, but I just would always light up when I would see him in one of those. There was this one show that kept coming on A&E called Horatio Hornblower, based on the actual colonial wars back in the day, and he would show up in there and he just really stood his ground, and I was like, you know what an underrated actor, but I can see why he's stuck to kind of doing a lot of theater and just British television. It's just was his shtick. And in all fairness, that's pretty much what most of George Lucas's casting pretty much consisted of. Cast people, get crew members who worked on documentaries and hire people who worked in TV in England.
That's where the real acting is.
It worked for Hellraiser, so
all that Shakespearean blood, it's really doing them well.
Yes.
Yeah, we actually lived in England for a few years, and that's where I used to see him. So we'd be flipping through channels, and there'd be some like BBC TV show. And
coming to PBS.
Yeah, he's playing some cop or inspector, because every British show has
always an inspector. Yeah. And wouldn't you trust him if you were an inspector?
Oh, yeah. My favorite thing about him is, and I thought maybe it was one
besides
of those
everything.
Besides everything, and I thought maybe it was like one of those alternate universe Berenstain Bear kind of things, was when I was a kid and Star Wars was pretty much dead.
Shit.
There had been nothing had come out for years, and so my dad got me an audiobook of Heir to the Empire, and I'm like, wait, what is this? There's new Star Wars? And he's like, yeah, here, just a couple of cassettes. It's an audio. I found it at the bookstore. You listen to it. You'll have fun. And so I listened to it, and it had Dennis Lawson reading the audiobook. And I was like,
amazing.
I love this audiobook. Well, so then I have it, but the tapes are kind of worn out. They're sitting in a drawer somewhere. And so then I went to go download it off of Audible or somewhere like that a little while ago. It's a completely different person reading the story. I'm like, no. I gotta have
no. Jeff Goldblum style. No.
I'm used to Wedge reading this. It's not right unless Wedge is right. So now I'm gonna I'm trying to eBay these cassette tapes to find the awesome ones. That's not what
great.
Thrawn sounds like. Thrawn doesn't. No. Mm-mm.
That's a way better book. I will have to check those out because the most I had. I mean, I read a bunch of those books. I even read Rogue Squadron books, and obviously would go over to a friend's house and play the Rogue Squadron video games. And I think he reprised those roles, if I'm not mistaken. But or they had a good sound alike or archive sound effects of them. But you just realize how invaluable a person Wedge is. This is like this dude is literally commanding an entire fleet and just second in command to a Jedi guy. That's an invaluable role, and he just looks so confident inside, what is basically a closed off set, pretending to pilot a ship, which I can't say about everyone else. It's like half the time they look no less uncomfortable than the actors on the prequels looked at, where they just weren't used to blue screens or being on a giant, England set, and
well, that was what was great about the EU, is because you get a character like Wedge, and pretty much the only thing he ever said was, look at the size of that thing. And
right.
So much love in the Rogue Squadron books and the all the other stuff in the EU. I'm like, I loved his character in the EU.
Yeah, totally.
Man, in the EU, he had a whole book. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. I'll look it up when I'm done talking, I guess.
I think it is actually just called Antilles, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so, yeah.
Well, no, it's like the starfighters of Arjumar or something. It's this whole planet.
Oh, there's definitely another one like that, yeah.
Yeah, this whole planet's based around ship-to-ship combat, and Wedge is sent there as an ambassador, and everyone wants to like fight him in his X-Wing and everything. And it's really cool. So it's like all about like Star Wars dogfighting and stuff. It's really cool.
There's one called Wedge's Gamble.
Yeah, yes, there was that one too. Yeah, that one came out like years ago, but yeah, I've recalled it was a bestseller. It was always just fun, even just rewatching the movies, because then you would try and spot him, because you kind of forget he's in the first one, and he just becomes a big staple in Empire, where he's showing them how to, take down the giant walkers, and then by Jedi, you're just like, yeah, he's basically going to be at the start of every battle, and I believe everything he's saying.
What's his face? What's
Anakin.
The guy's name? Anakin or whatever.
Anakin.
Whatever the actor's
Hayden
name
Christensen.
Hayden Christensen, yeah.
Terrible actor. He looked the part. He just didn't have any range. And I've liked other movies he's been in, like Takers and everything, but he just doesn't have any range to me. And I was hoping to keep this positive, but I can watch the prequels, but I can't handle him anytime, he's just talking about sand. And I understand what Lucas is going for, even though he's not great with dialogue and he could have gotten a rewrite, but it's just like, yeah.
But it's coarse and it gets everywhere.
It does, though. I'll give
it
sounds like an incel who doesn't know how to ejaculate, He's just one of those.
What?
Oh.
His first time talking to a girl. We've all been there.
I must feel something.
When you were in junior high talking to your first crush, did you not also talk about all the sand you get in your pants whenever you go to the beach?
No.
Who hasn't been there?
How did it get in there?
I went to the beach. We've been over this.
You sound like you were doing your best Bill Shatner there. To the beach.
To the beach.
Over there.
Sand.
I'm going to derail this completely.
I don't like sand.
Is there anyone who's familiar with Bill Shatner singing Rocket Man?
How can there not be? Don't call yourself a Shatner fan if you haven't heard of Rocket Man.
Thank you. I talk to people who are not cultured, and I'm like, have you ever heard Will Shatner sing Rocket Man? And they're just like, what? And I'm like, how dare you?
I talk to people who've seen Boston Legal but haven't seen TJ Hooker. I mean, come on.
What about James Earl Jones from Alan Quatermain and the Lost City of Gold?
Amazing role. Everyone should see it.
I've got the poster in my room, looking at it right now. I've got the poster up on the wall, yeah.
But it is so wild how essentially he just, he was the voice of CNN, and you gotta love City, City Limits on Mystery Science Theater.
I got to meet James Earl Jones once.
Oh, wow.
When I was in university, there was my history teacher said you could get credit for a test if you go listen to James Earl Jones speak, and we did. Yeah. And so I went to the auditorium where he was speaking that night, and he read this essay he wrote actually about like Shakespeare, and it was very strange, and no one was expecting that. They were expecting to talk about his autobiography that he had just published, but no, he read this essay, and a lot of people were like getting up and leaving, and it was very strange. And at the end, I was walking by and I was trying to get my professor's attention so he would see me and know I was there so he could get credit. And he was talking to James Earl Jones at the time, and the professor turns and sees me, and so I give him a thumbs up like, hey, I was here. And then James Earl Jones turns around and gives me a thumbs up. And I was like, oh, sweet. Yeah. And so he waves me over, and I shook his hand. I was like, it's an honor to meet you. You know, it was a great essay or whatever the hell it was you did, because I tell you, it was bizarre. You know, he was not there talking about his life like everyone thought he would. But no, he seemed very gracious. And then so that's my James Earl Jones story. You know, got to shake his hand.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then Twitter forgot his birthday.
Oh.
Malcolm McDowell's had to do voices for Star Wars or something at this point, right? Maybe.
Because Captain Kirk, that's as close as he got.
He's a Star Trek guy. They can't cross. It's like there's
a handful of, like, Brent Spiner's done a voice in a Star Wars cartoon, you know, so a few people have crossed over.
People's heads will explode. They're like, no, it's too many. We can only take like one or two. Like, is he Data? Is he this other guy? I don't know.
I mean, you know, it's whatever you got to do.
He did. I was looking it up. Malcolm McDowell did a voice of Minister Hydan in Star Wars Rebels.
I told you.
There you go. Eventually, you immigrate.
They all find their way. You know,
George Takei's in both franchises, for God's sake. So, you know.
Oh my.
That's great. I love that.
And the connections continue. Malcolm McDowell was in Captain Jake and the Neverland Pirates from was it Disney Junior, and I think Mark Hamill was a voice actor in that one too.
There you go, man.
It just keeps going.
Well, Disney's going to own everything, so
that's true.
Yeah,
it's
waiting for them to go to Paramount and do a whole Star Trek versus Wars.
In 5 years, it's going to be like Disney presents the Jacked Up Review Show podcast. And...
stop! Why are you trying? Is there a reason you're trying to enhance my ego here, my friend? Nothing is greater than the power of the Force.
Send me some Disney money. I'll take some Disney money.
Oh, I'd sell out to Disney in a heartbeat. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Easily. Last Jedi's the greatest film ever. Come on, guys.
I draw a damn line.
You fool! It's a package deal. We all have to sell out.
We all have to sell out.
I don't know. What does this get you? Does this buy you 10 free circle jerks? What does this get you?
You get a Disney? I don't know.
When you go to
an image, you know.
When
you go to the parks, you get the churros 20% off, so you only have to spend $45 on
the cheapest of the cheap, but hey.
You still got to wait in line for the rides, though.
So. No, absolutely no. You still use Fast Pass, still full price. You still have to take out a fucking mortgage for a full
price. Oh, man. Damn, dude. Way to take out the guilty.
This is why the Barely Critical podcast is selling out to Paramount Plus, all right?
Well, here's the thing. If it's Star Trek, you kind of suck it up and you find the good stuff in the bad. But the problem is like, yeah, when you suffer through bad Star Wars, it's just bad. So it's like,
let's put it this way. I love going to the theater so much. I have seen both of Yahoo Serious's movies in the theater.
Oh, you poor child.
Oh, Young Einstein's a masterpiece.
Child.
There's got to be a better way to get popcorn, John. Come on.
I mean, I'll do gay porn before I see a Yahoo Serious movie. Just
oh,
saying.
Man.
Isn't that what those were?
What movies are you guys?
John really likes to go to that little theater down the block there.
I'll suffer for you, Ball, in his version of Star Wars before I watch Yahoo Serious.
Jeez.
I'll watch all Billy the terrible movies that win Oscars. No, we're past Billy Dee Williams. Let's go on to Natalie Portman. Why she's awesome.
But, you know, she's one of the lucky ones. She's had a pretty good career post Star Wars, you know, not a guarantee. You know?
It's like she was in 2 giant blockbusters before, like Leon the Professional and Heat. That's a great way to start your movie career.
Yeah,
a great movie she was in that I don't feel like gets the recognition. Annihilation? I can't
Annihilation.
That was bad.
Annihilation.
That was bad. Alex Garland has great ideas, but he never knows how to end them.
I didn't mind the movie. Like, I don't think it was offensive to cinema. Like, I just feel like
no, but
I don't
just it was still so anticlimactic. I was like, really? That's what they did and got all this vile and
oh yeah. I get it.
It was a Book of Eli type mush. I'm like, yeah, no, sorry. I don't buy the whole blind man goes across the desert and knows everything.
Yes, but God is guiding him, right? That was the
yes.
Yeah.
I was a holy man, a holy black man, and I'm awesome because I'm. Denzel Washington should be in a Star Wars movie, but no, don't do that.
No, I don't think he should actually.
He's too awesome.
I think Natalie Portman gets rewarded for like minimal effort. It's like, yeah, I'm here. I said my lines. Oh, cool. Okay.
She had really awesome wardrobe. Yep. She was my princess.
In the Thor movie, she literally just sleepwalks through those.
Oh,
like,
God.
Hey, why don't we reward you by giving you the hammer? Oh, yeah.
I'll hammer you, Natalie.
Oh, okay. You know, how about we talk about something where she's actually really good, and that was Black Swan, directed by Darren Aronofsky.
I have Black Swan on mine. Yeah.
I love that. I love everything that Darren Aronofsky actually does. I think he's a great director.
But you love depressing movies? The nerve.
Well, yeah. No, she kills it. Go ahead, Trevor.
The only issue I have with Black Swan is I can't unassociate it from, I think it was Scary Movie 4. They parodied it.
Why are you watching these movies?
Because I hate myself. Okay.
Just self-torture at this time.
Exactly.
Torture. He's Jack Bauer. He's torturing himself. Where's the movie?
Like Black Swan has, this love scene, and it's, it's very tasteful and stuff. And then you go to the Scary Movie, and they literally like have two taco shells rubbing together, and that's the image I only have now when it's like whenever I watch Black Swan, it's just
69, baby.
Exactly. It's two. They have two train tunnels, not even two trains, two train tunnels just bashing into each other. Like in Scary Movie, and just and that's all I can think of. It's like it's a very serious movie, and it's a very well done movie. But because I have this fucked up brain that I was cursed with, all I think about are the lesbian
More fucked
references.
Up than mine?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I just think of the lesbian references from Scary Movie 4, and I can't.
That's great. I
Black Swan though, amazing. Yeah.
Oh. I just love her comedies because she can do it, but she's just very light. And she was a good sport, yes, about those movies, just saying, hey, it's kind of more of a kid-friendly crowd versus, the epics of the 70s and 80s. And, I think she's just a very smart person. I can see why she's become an activist and filmmaker recently. I thought Jackie was really good, even V for Vendetta.
Yeah, V was cool.
I mean, when she was on SNL doing those rap battles, that was just unexpected. It's like, I did not expect that from you. I mean, just being a foul-mouthed person in a SNL rap, that's pretty funny. But Jane Got a Gun, I think you guys would like. It's just a pretty straightforward Western. Your Highness was a fun. Closer, don't recommend. That's just depressing as fuck, where she plays a stripper.
Wait, go back to that one. What was that?
I totally recommend Anywhere But Here, Where the Heart Is. I forgot she cameoed as herself in Zoolander. Mars Attacks, that's right. She's like the president's daughter.
But it's a movie we haven't discussed yet, but would actually fit for pretty much everyone we've talked about. I'll tell you.
Go ahead.
Fanboys from 2000.
Yes, he's in that.
Ray Park is in that as the security guard, and he does all the Darth Maul moves, but he's not wearing all the makeup. So
and that was so great, though, because it was even before all these martial artists like Frank Grillo and what's his name, Scott Adkins were around. When I saw him, I was just like. In fact, speaking of Scott Adkins, you should totally see him in Accident Man. It's a fun John Wick movie based on an actual comic. But had I not seen him in Fanboys, I would have never known that he could do some fun Jackie Chan kind of comedy and just sort of just body language. It's like he was so fun, funny and intimidating at the same time. It was great.
Yeah, no, he was great in that, and I think Carrie Fisher's in it too. There's a few people that, like, they got a lot of Star Wars folks in there,
and it's a great story. Is the guy dying of cancer, and he's seeing one of the prequels, and then he's running into some trackers, and and it's just some other fun stuff, and it's just like, it's just it was very clever, and no one knew how to advertise. And you're like, for real? I mean, there was a Darth Vader helmet on the cover. How do you not know how to advertise this movie?
Yeah, I love the ending where they're all sitting down.
Someone used the Force on the.
That's what it was.
Oh, and we can't not talk about Frank Oz either.
Oh, I think we can.
No.
Okay, well, I get overruled again. I was gonna.
Great director.
They want to talk about Warwick Davis. They want to talk about Frank Oz.
Shovel up my ass, I do.
Well, he was a Muppet guy, right?
He's a Muppet, yeah. He's a great director.
Muppets. Hey, yo, it's the Muppets.
Hey, yo, yeah. That'd be great. I'm walking here. I'm a Muppet.
Can you review the Star Wars Holiday Special?
Oh God, why?
It's better than the sequel trilogy. Oh,
it does introduce Boba Fett. You got to give it that much.
We did that 2 Christmases ago.
Carrie Fisher sings, and Harrison Ford kills a guy.
We did that with another podcast 2 Christmases ago, and I feel like I still need to take a shower from that one scene where the Wookiee is watching
porn.
Semi-pornographic.
Watching porn.
Pretty much, yeah.
Dude, I want to kick Chewie's son into the orbit. Like, I hate Chewie's son. Irrational. His name's
This is
Lumpy.
what we get for. At least we didn't talk about B. Arthur this whole time because
I was just gonna say B. Arthur. Sorry, I was gonna throw that in there.
Oh man,
she's not the one who did blackface. Who did blackface in the holiday special?
Oh, someone did blackface.
Someone absolutely. It's like a weird cooking segment in the holiday special.
Yes, yeah, the cooking video.
You sure it wasn't your VCR fading out from the pain it was having to embrace? I don't know.
That was Chef Gourmanda.
Oh.
Chef Gourmanda, yes, and she did.
And
blackface.
they are part of the canon, believe it or not. Some dickhead years ago in the 90s made these guys part of the Star Wars Encyclopedia. So, but again, I will watch this in purgatory and in hell versus any lens flare induced Star Wars shitfest. So, J-Man, yo, Jay,
yes,
Jaywalking man, what you up to? What you doing after this?
I stream on YouTube under Jman77.
Only on Patreon and OnlyFans.
Oh, I don't have.
Boner is strong with this one.
The erection is strong with this one.
Yes.
I got enough blow for your job.
It's like in Spaceballs, remember they'd put the ring to their crotch and then the lightsaber would come up. That's how they activated the lightsaber, the sword, sort of. Yeah.
We'll return after these messages.
Howdy folks, Howsack here. We got a 90-minute weekly Shack Stop. It's growing all over the world. Find it at 2 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Mondays, then 3 p.m. on Wednesdays, then 7 p.m. on Thursdays. You can catch it on many more radio stations, 99.9 KERB, 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern on Mondays. Then catch the encore on Thursdays at 5 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Eastern. Then catch it Wednesday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Central on 107.7 K-Twins. Then hang out with us Wednesday afternoons on MXTR and House Shack Radio, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Then Thursday, get up bright and early with us on 95.7 Web Radio at 6 a.m. Pacific Time, 9 a.m. Eastern. Of course, we've got your Friday covered as well. 12 p.m. Eastern Time on MXTR FM and 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Central, 107.7 K-Twins. Find everything on HowShack.com. HowShack.
If you like small town mystery, crazy news, and wild history, then the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast is for you. Each week, Josh Mills and Wayne McCarty bring you the absolute best Florida has to offer. So if you're looking for a show that's safe for the family, but funny enough to help you escape everyday life, then listen to the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast. That's Florida Men, plural, on Florida Man podcast.
Do you ever find yourself thinking about who would win in a fight between Goku and Superman? Hi, I'm James Gavsey, and on the Who Would Win show, me and my co-host Ray ignore anything important happening in the outside world and debate fictional battles between characters from comics, movies, and video games.
We got a new show every week, and almost always am I the winner.
Yeah, not true, Ray.
In the past, we've discussed such matches as Captain America versus Darth Vader, Solid Snake versus the Iron Giant, classic matchups like RoboCop versus Terminator, and even the Muppets versus Sesame Street.
That one was crazy. So if you're a fan of geek culture and love a spirited debate, check out the Who Would Win Show wherever you get your podcasts, or check us out at whowouldwinshow.com.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening.
It's a jacked up